Pro-Moscow officials said all four occupied regions of Ukraine, Zaporizhia, Kherson, Luhansk, and Donetsk, voted to join Russia and are to ask Russian President Vladimir Putin to annex them. Russian-installed officials in occupied regions want to incorporate them into Russia a day after claiming that their residents overwhelmingly supported such a move. Widely viewed as illegitimate, the preordained outcome sets the stage for a dangerous new phase in Russia's 7-month war. The United Nations Security Council held an emergency meeting following Russia's announcement. In a video address to members of the UN Security Council, President Volodymyr Zelensky called for global sanctions on Russia for sham referendums and attempts to annex part of his country. After the meeting, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, announced a joint resolution with Albania condemning the vote and demanding Russia withdraw its troops from Ukraine. A series of unusual leaks on two natural gas pipelines running from Russia under the Baltic Sea to Germany triggered concerns about sabotage. AP correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
Poland's Prime Minister has called the events an act of sabotage, while Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen says she could not rule it out after 3 leaks were detected over the past day on the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines. Anders Puck-Nielsen, a researcher at the Royal Danish Defence College, says when such a number of leaks on 2 pipelines happen within 24 hours, it's strange. It is so strange that you get to wonder and ask yourself, could this be sabotage? Nielsen poses another question. Could there be an advantage for Russia in trying to destabilize the European energy market even further? I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Hurricane Ian has knocked out power across all of Cuba and devastated some of the country's most important tobacco farms when it slammed into the island's western tip as a major hurricane. Cuba's electric union says work is underway to gradually restore service to the country's 11 million people. It made landfall as a Category 3 storm Tuesday and devastated a province where much of the tobacco for Cuba's iconic cigars has grown. Tens of thousands of people had evacuated ahead of the arrival of Ian. Now Hurricane Ian is headed to Florida. AP correspondent Donna Warder reports.
Robbie Berg of the National Hurricane Center says most of Florida will be impacted by Ian.
We have watches and warnings up for much of the Florida Peninsula, actually most of the Florida Peninsula, so really the entire state is being affected in some way by the storm.
Florida residents have been boarding up their homes in preparation of this afternoon's expected arrival of the storm. At least 2.5 million people were ordered to evacuate. Ian is expected to strengthen to a Category 4 hurricane when it slams into the state's southwest coast. I'm Donna Warder.
U.S. President Joe Biden on Tuesday kept the nation's cap on refugee admissions at 125,000 for the 2023 budget year, despite pressure from advocates to raise it even higher to meet the need after falling far short of that target this year. Refugees advocates have been pushing the Biden administration to do more to restore the U.S. refugee admissions program. A man from the U.S. state of California who pleaded guilty to COVID-19 loan fraud has been sentenced, the AP's Jennifer King reports.
Reddy Budamala of Irvine, California, has been sentenced to 4 years in federal prison, and a judge ordered him to pay $5,150,000 in restitution to the Small Business Administration. He was arrested in February trying to cross the border into Mexico and pled guilty in June to bank fraud and money laundering. Prosecutors say he submitted 7 false applications for pandemic relief loans for 3 shell companies with no operations, claiming to need the money for payroll for non-existent employees and business expenses at bogus addresses. Court documents say he used the money to buy 3 homes, including properties in Los Angeles and Malibu. As part of the plea agreement, he'll forfeit real estate and $4.1 million from bank and investment accounts and cryptocurrency. Budamala is to be deported to India when he finishes his sentence. I'm Jennifer King.
And recapping our top story, pro-Moscow officials said all 4 occupied regions of Ukraine, Zaporizhia, Kherson, Luhansk, and Donetsk, voted to join Russia and are to ask Russian President Vladimir Putin to annex them. Widely viewed as illegitimate, the preordained outcome sets the stage for a dangerous new phase in Russia's 7-month war.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.